I keep telling people before they open their mouth, they better go check my body of work, okay? Because my body of work speaks for itself. Anything that you try to say about me, you try to call me a hater, you try to say I got double standards, you got to try to say this, you got to say that. Whatever you say about me, I got a video that's proving you wrong. And I've been saying that for quite some time. I said I am the most consistent. As of right now, you guys know I am Canelo Alvarez, public enemy #1. You know, they think I dislike Canelo Alvarez, that I hate on him, and most importantly, that I don't like him because he's Mexican. You guys really want somebody to dislike y'all because y'all Mexican. I find that very weird, but I'm going to diagnose that in a few days, and I'm going to get back to you. Trust me, and you're not going to like it. But this is what they say about me, and I keep telling people, I'm like, look, this is just my opinion. I'm not a hater. I'm just being honest. I'm actually a fan of Canelo Alvarez. I'm just not a fan of what he's currently doing. You know what I'm saying? And I hold him responsible, unlike you, because you're a fanboy. Oh, no, it's because he's Mexican, and it's because he has 12 freckles on his left cheek and all this other stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, look, man, I got plenty of videos out there that's, you know, that compliments Canelo Alvarez. Like, that's not the, oh, no, fuck that. It's because you're black, and it's because you're black, and because you're black. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Okay. Pause right here. Okay. Now we're going to use a fanboy, okay, to expose fanboys. So what I'm going to do, so now we're going to skip right over here to this little guy named Ringside Stories. Is that your name, little fella? Ringside, the Triple G fanboy. I'm going to use the Triple G fanboy to destroy Canelo fanboys. So Ringside Story over here has made a few videos about me. And his problem, because it's always going to be for a non-black fighter, okay? His problem with one of my videos is that I had an opinion, just like Canelo Alvarez, about Triple G. The funny thing is, he says I had a double standard because evidently I have been treating Canelo Alvarez with some favoritism. I'm hard on Triple G and I give a pass to Canelo Alvarez. Let's go ahead and go into that video right there.
Standards. Since we're on the topic, let's use Saul Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin as an example. Now, the easiest way to explain a double standard is criticizing Golovkin for something Canelo gets credit for, or criticizing Golovkin and not criticizing Canelo for the same thing.
Canelo Alvarez proves to you why I put him as the pound for pound #1, and he should not be mistaken for anything else.
Now, having a favorite fighter or having an opinion on a fighter is perfectly fine. However, when you start to portray your opinion as fact, that is how false narratives start.
I'll tell the truth regardless if it makes me look bad, regardless if it'll, what some people say, hurt my brand or hurt the channel or hurt the subscriber growth or all that.
That is an oxymoron statement. You either tell the truth or you're sharing an opinion. But you can't offer half a truth and present that as the truth. That in and of itself is a false narrative.
That's right.
Believing false narratives is how fanboys are born. Now, to each their own, but personally, I think fanboys are missing the point, which is enjoying the sport of boxing as a whole, seeing fighters' greatness above anything else outside of the ring. In this video, we're gonna go over a couple of examples of double standards between Canelo and Triple G.
Look, the game is what the game is. There's plenty of fighters out here who should have lost fights, who have won fights. That's part of boxing.
So when it was about Canelo, this guy swept it under the rug. Yet when talking about Triple G...
Why are you acting shy? Do you think they just started doing special stuff for Triple G like this last night? Is that what you think? He got robbed. Who don't know that?
You see, when Golovkin gets a favorable decision, this guy's quick to scream robbery. But when it happens to Canelo, he'll say,
look, the game is what the game is. There's plenty of fighters out here who should have lost fights, who have won fights. I can't go on that trivial stuff.
That's a double standard.
Just because it was evidently clear last night, and you can't deny it if you wanted to, don't be acting brand new. You've been new, this is how this rolled for Triple G.
As boxing fans, we need to be more consistent because robberies do happen in boxing. They happen all the time. But if you say Triple G got a favorable decision, then you got to say that about Canelo too.
Don't be acting brand new. You been new. This is how this roll for Triple G.
This guy makes it sound like Golovkin gets favorable decisions all the time, which is simply not true. Keep in mind, Triple G has defended his middleweight title 20 times, and for the majority, he has dominated his opponents. And there's a reason why Golovkin has been avoided. Check out part 2 of my Triple G Saga documentary. Anyway.
Please. But again, this is boxing.
They are corrupt. I have no problem saying it. They are corrupt. There's no way that you see 118 to 110 for Canelo and you say, well, it's just a mistake. It was just my judge. No, it's not a mistake. That can't be a mistake.
And the record speaks for itself. Erislandy Lara, Austin Trout, both Triple G fights, and even in the Mayweather fight years ago where Canelo lost comprehensively and still had one judge calling it a draw.
Judge ringside, CJ Ross scores about 114 to 114, even a draw. Overruled by judges, Dave. Overruled by judges, Dave. By judges, Dave.
And don't get me wrong, Canelo is a warrior. I rate him as a fighter. He's amazing for the sport of boxing. Still, Canelo is notorious for getting favorable decisions more than anyone in boxing, period. So when you call robbery for a favorable decision that Triple G got, then do the same for Canelo. Or just stick with the notion that robberies happen in boxing all the time and don't cry if Golovkin gets the long end of the stick.
Okay, that's a Triple G fanboy who has a problem with me because he's basically saying that I'm fanboying for Canelo or taking up for Canelo or defending Canelo or speaking my opinion on Canelo, okay? Then you have Canelo fanboys who you think I'm hard on Canelo and that I hate on Canelo. Do you see how both these parties vindicate the fuck out of me? You know what I'm saying? The question you need to ask yourself is this. Why does everybody get so offended because I made a video on my channel and I gave my opinion? It causes people to go make side videos and response videos and this, and that. Think of any fighter that you think that I'm fond of. Teofimo Lopez. Y'all think every black person is a fan of Floyd Mayweather, and I am. He's just not my favorite fighter, but I am. Think of anybody that you can think of. There's a person who's made a video on them, discredit them, or don't like them. You will never see me responding or making a video about you. Why? Because I'm not bothered. That's your channel and that's your opinion. Yet when it comes to me, I got to get these responses. And notice, it will always be for a fighter that is not black. Go ahead and put my name in your YouTube search engine and look up anybody who's ever made a video about me. They're responding to a or they're responding for a non-black fighter. You know what I'm saying? Period. But other than that, it's always for somebody else. So the question is, if I'm such a Canelo hater, how the fuck did I piss off this Triple G fanboy? And if I'm such a hater of Triple G and a fanboy to Canelo, then how the fuck did I piss off these Canelo fans? Like I told you, most consistent. All right? So when people talk about keep the same energy, shut the fuck up. The only thing you got to do is a little bit of footwork and it's all there for you because real boxing fans don't play those fucking games. And we ain't got to get tribal. The only thing we got to do is talk boxing. I'm out.